Sri Lanka is now grappling with two situations. One, the Forex crisis, and two, the protests that have erupted due to the crisis. People have started camping outside the presidential office as they demand Gotabaya Rajapaksa's resignation. People say the economic mismanagement by the Rajapaksas is the real reason behind the current situation of people of Sri Lanka, and they needed to pave way for a more competent authority. Meanwhile, neighbouring India sent large consignments of rice, sugar under the $1 billion line of credit to help island nation in the middle of the crisis.
As anger spirals across the island nation, Sri Lankans have started erecting tents outside the presidential office in Colombo, expressing both their helplessness and to raise their demand for the ouster of the government. Anti-government, especially anti-Rajapaksa slogans can be heard in the backdrop as protesters tread through their daily chores and prepare and consume meals. They say they are not going to move until the situation improves, which according to them is only going to get better after the Rajapaksa resign. The camp is expanding in size by the day, and experts fear this could turn into another issue if the government doesn't come up with a solution immediately.
We are try to give the message until you guys going home, we are staying. We are not going home. We are stay here and we are doing protests. That's why we are trying to tell until you guys and government, president, and all the buggers are going home, we also stay here and we are doing our protest.
The intent of the demonstrators could be reflected in their determination that has made them brave the atmospheric hurdles, including rain and police assertiveness that has been trying all measures to contain the numbers. Protesters are angry and accuse the Rajapaksa family of economic mismanagement. Mahinda Rajapaksa, the president's elder brother, serves as prime minister, and their younger brother Basil was finance minister until recently. The administration says it is doing what it can to drag Sri Lanka out of a crisis that has left it unable to buy fuel and medicine and struggling to pay its debts. Mahinda Rajapaksa had earlier said in a televised address that the protests were hampering attempts to improve the situation. Some protesters said they would only leave if the Rajapaksas stepped down.
The whole country is together, so he has to step down. As a human being, he should. So the whole country, you can see here, right? Now, I'm a mother, I have two kids. Now they are at home. I am here on behalf of them also. Not only my kids, there are a lot of kids who are next generation. We are fighting for them as well. This is not a fight actually. We are asking for our rights. Please do that.
The island nation of 22 million people is in the throes of its worst financial crisis since independence in 1948, with a foreign currency shortage stalling imports of fuel and medicines and bringing hours of power cuts a day. Sri Lanka is about to default on its debts. Two of the world's largest credit rating agencies have warned. Fitch Ratings lowered its assessment of the South Asian nation, saying a sovereign default process has begun. S&P Global Ratings made a similar announcement and said that a default is now a virtual certainty. Colombo has been asking India and China for credit lines, food and energy. The Asian giants have already committed billions of dollars in financial support. India sent ships with sugar, rice and wheat to Sri Lanka. A rice shipment of 7,000 metric tons from India as a part of its $1 billion credit line to Sri Lanka reached the crisis-hit neighbour. The rise is a part of the deal for essential commodities to be sent to Sri Lanka from its northern neighbour that will also include industrial raw material, pharmaceuticals and animal feeds. The country says it will also secure bailout funds from global bodies including the IMF and World Bank. But as of now, people are reeling, and that seems to be the only major takeaway from the country's crisis this week.